Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my sewing space. Today is Monday Makes and Plans, so we're going to discuss what I did last week, sewing and sewing related, and what I'm planning to do this week. So last week was another busy week in the Gemini Stitches world. I had a couple of days cutting out and planning on Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I met up with Steph, Sharon, and Nicola, and we all went to Empress Mills together. I did buy some fabrics there, and I'll show you them at the end. So, what did I think of Empress Mills? It is a mill building, obviously, because it's called Empress Mills. And it's not been open to the public very long, so I think they're still finding their feet on that front, because before that it was online ordering only. The only issue that I had was that some of the fabrics that I'd seen online I couldn't find in the shop. So I asked, and it turned out they were squirreled away in a part of the room, in the same room that we were in, but just in a staff only area. So they kindly took me through, showed me what I needed to look at. They had an awful lot of fabric, a little bit overwhelming as usual for me when I go somewhere where there's racks and racks of fabric. I get very overwhelmed, I'll be honest. So I have tried to be organised and looked on their online site and made a list of things that I wanted to look at and potentially purchase. But as I said, some of them couldn't find. But if that happens to you, ask a member of staff and they'll either bring it out for you or show you where it is in the staff area where they're doing the packing. So not a problem. If you've seen it online, they have got it and they will find it for you. So that was Empress Mills on Wednesday. And then on Friday, I went to my knit and natter again, and I've done a little bit more of my knitting. Just hang on and I'll show you. I'm sorry if you're finding the knitting element a bit boring, but it's helping me keep on track, and I promise I won't waffle on about it for long. So this was the broken honeycomb jumper. I'll pop a picture of it up there. And I've done all the cream part of the back, and I'm now onto the moss green where it's the broken honeycomb pattern. So not much to do now, and then that's the back of my sweater finished. So coming along rather nicely. I just need to stay focused, not buy any more wool until I finish this. Then on Saturday, I had to whiz down to Anglesey to check on the property that we have down there. Very nice day out, lovely lunch at the boathouse, Red Wharf Bay, highly recommend it. And Sunday, yesterday, was our first proper Sunday social. We do them on a Wednesday, we've been doing them for over a year, and people have been asking for weekend ones, so now we're doing one Sunday social per month, and their dates for those are all booked in up to the end of the year. I'll pop the list of dates up here. So if you want to join me on one of those, you need to email events@themillhousevenue.com, and maybe I'll see you at one of our Sunday socials. The ladies who came all had a great time. Well, they said they did, so I'm assuming they did. I'll be popping some pics up that the lovely Steph took on the day. And yeah, it was just brilliant. It was nice to be sewing with some new ladies, because our Wednesday one has quite a lot of regulars who come now, which is lovely, but it's nice to meet new people as well, isn't it? So the Sunday ones, I'm loving, absolutely loving them. If you want more details on them, then either comment below or email the events@themillhousevenue.com, and I might see you at one of our Sunday socials sometime soon. So we're now on Monday. Makes and plans. So this morning I've been tidying up my sewing space to within an inch of its life, because on Wednesday my new faff machine is coming and I want it all to be really nice for when it arrives. So because I've been doing that, I pulled out all my project files. Now, I did not think I had many WIPs, as they call them, or works in progress, because I am fairly good at starting and completing projects before I move on to the next one. So I was quite surprised when I found as many project bags as I did. Now, most of these are ones that I've cut out and then I've not proceeded with them further. So is that a WIP, or is it just project planning? I don't know. But I thought today I'd go through them with you and start taking ownership of them and when they're going to be completed. But before I do that, you can see on Rita, my dandelion jacket is almost complete. I am just waiting for my new faff machine to come because I want to do the buttonholes on the new machine. So here it is. The fabric I got, so it's the dandelion jacket by Maison Fauve, and it's in Maison Fauve jacquard fabric I've had in my stash for about 6 months. I put the patch pockets on the front, and they're just hand warmer pockets. There's no entry at the top, you get into them from the side, which I think is really cute. And I'm going to put buttons on the pocket flaps. They don't have them on the pattern, but I think it will just finish it off beautifully. Pleased with how it's come together. The lining is another Maison Fauve fabric. It's a really good quality Bemberg lining that I bought with the fabric to match it, so pleased with that. It has a little stand-up collar. Turn you around, Rita. A yoke on the back, and then a nice waistband that is high-low, higher at the back, and then grades lower at the front. Couple of tucks in the back to cinch it in at the waist, and then at the front there's some gathering under where the pocket area is to cinch it in at the front as well. So yeah, when I've got the buttons on, I will take some pics, so keep your eyes peeled on my Instagram account because that's where they'll probably appear first. And I've got the buttons. These are the buttons I want to use. I got these a while back from Jenny Stitches, and I think they're really good because they're a right colour of blue and they've got little ridges all the way down, and I thought they matched in with the lines that are on the fabric. So that's what the buttons are going to look like. And then the jacket's done. So really pleased that I got as far as I did with that. And that was my make that I gave myself to do last week, and it's done. So shall we look at my pile of projects or WIPs that I've not completed or even started, well, cut out but done nothing else with. Project bag number 1 is cut out. I got this fabric from Judy's DESTASH at the so-and-so, and I absolutely love it. I've cut out one of the chalk and notch fringe dresses. It's all cut out, just needs sewing together, so that will be perfect for the autumn with some little black tights, maybe a little cardi to keep you warm. But that one definitely needs making up, so that's in my project to do pile. This next one is a real confession for me because I got this fabric off the swaps table at the very first social that I did. So I've had it cut out almost a year, and I'm ashamed to say I've still not done it. It's going to be the Joe dress from Closet Core Patterns, and I really need to get this done because every time I look in my projects pile, it's smiling at me saying, please make me. Although it's not an autumn winter kind of dress, it is 3/4 sleeve, so if we get some more sunny days in October, it can be worn. The reason I think I've not done it is because the Joe dress has a lot of bias binding. Now I've got this yellow in my stash, but it's the wrong colour of yellow. So let me know, do you think I'll get away with this, or should I start searching for some fabric that'll go with it? What I could do, actually, I'm at my quilting class tomorrow, and it's fabric shop, albeit a quilting fabric shop, so it's all cotton fabrics, but that's what I need for my bias binding, so I might take a piece of this with me and find some fabric that I can buy. I'll only need a metre of it to make the bias binding and get the Joe dress done, because I really don't think that goes, and that's what's been the only stumbling block with that. It is a meaty sew, but it's satisfying, and I need to get on with it, don't I? This bag contains all my Learn to Fit project stuff. I signed up for the 6 months Learn to Fit course. I think I've done part 1 and part 2 of it. I've got all the videos and all the files there and just not progressed any further with it. And every time I look at this, I get annoyed with myself. So I'm committing for the rest of this year to try and find some time to pick that up again and continue with it, because ultimately it's going to improve the fit of my garments, so why would I not do it? Yeah, that's a good question. And I paid for the course, silly me, and not carried on with it. Have you paid for the Learn to Fit course? Have you completed it? How did you get on? Is it worth me battling on with it? Because I do find it a battle. But yeah, need to get my head around that one. That's an ongoing project. A long ongoing project. And the last project file that's got something in has got something that I was meant to do for my holidays. I just cut it out quickly. It's in this semi see-through Georgette fabric, beautiful pink check detail, and I'm doing another beach throw on in it. Now, I'm not planning any more holidays this year abroad, unless a miracle happens. So, although that's a work in progress because it's cut out, I'm not going to put myself under pressure to get that one completed. It can go on the back burner till next year. So that's going to go in the I'm not doing you right now. So I've got 3 project files that have been sat there for yonks and never touched. So I'm committing to sorting those out. Now, WIPS are also things that you've not finished. And I did say I start a garment and I finish it, but I have been guilty recently of not quite doing that with some, and I don't know why. So I'm going to go through these garments with you now, and then hopefully it will galvanise me into action and I'll actually get them done. This first one, I'm ashamed to say, is as simple as sewing a button on it. How embarrassing. It's absolutely fine, but one of the buttons, I think it's the top button there. So the top button there has just come off. I've got the button, I just need to sew the damn thing back on. So that is an easy fix, isn't it? Some of you might recognise this second garment. It was the Blair dress that I made down in Anglesey with Steph. We did them together. And I made it in a very difficult to sew with double gauze. It's finished, it's just not got buttons on it. Now, I did think I had some beautiful buttons to put on it, but because I didn't actually love the dress at the time, I didn't want to waste the buttons on it. But I'm going to try it back on, put it on with some woolly tights, thick tights, and see how I'll feel wearing it in the autumn and winter. And if I like it, then I'll get the buttons done on it. And if I don't, I'm not wasting them on it. I'm being naughty now because this is one of my Beyond the Pink Door You Will Finish commitments. And I made the saguaro set in this beautiful bright fabric. Now, it is finished, but when I tried it on, I only had enough fabric to do the top the same length as the pattern, and it is a little bit croppy. So I had the idea of sewing some lace, cotton lace, along the bottom just to disguise my little bit of midriff that was showing. And I've just not found the right lace for it. And I've not been looking. But the weather's been naff, and I probably won't wear it till next year. So, yes, I need to do it. No, I don't need to do it for the autumn winter. So again, like the pool throw, that can stay in my WIP pile till next year. Because I'm not wasting my time on something that's just going to get packed away in a few weeks when I transfer my wardrobe over. This next thing, I'm ashamed that I've not finished this. Thoroughly ashamed, because I absolutely love it. And it is my Pilar jacket that I made down in Anglesey. Now, the reason it's not finished is because I came up against a stumbling block trying to get the buttonholes onto these tabs. I should have put them in before I sewed them on. And then I decided, I'll just get some metal snaps and do it that way. And I've just never got round to it. And now, because my new machine's coming this week, it better be good at buttonholes. Because it's going to be doing a lot of them. I might try and do the buttonholes on that machine rather than use the metal snaps, because I'd rather put the buttons on this jacket, I think. And then if I can't manage that, then I need to get the metal snaps on. So that I need to get done pronto, then I can start wearing it, don't I? And my last WIP is something that snuck into my sewing room when I wasn't here, and I didn't know why until I asked the question. It's one of the Hubsters, super dry tops. He wears them all the time. This is a lovely thick one for the winter. And I said, why is that super dry top in my sewing pile? And he said, you don't need to sew anything. I just need to know where your pinking shears are. And I said, why? He said, the cuffs are too long and I keep turning them up and they're getting on my nerves, so I'm just going to cut them off with pinking shears. I said, how are you finishing the end? Well, it won't unravel. I'm just leaving it like that. Did he say that so that I would do it for him? Probably. But being me, I took the bait. So all I need to do with this is cut the cuffs off, get a twin needle in my machine, and just do a little narrow turn up on the end. But I've left him because he didn't ask me in the right way, did he? He tried to be sneaky. But I need to get it out of my sewing room, so that actually needs doing this week. In fact, I might do it today. Who knows? And that's it. That's all I have that are works in progress or projects cut out and not started. Got 5 garments that need a bit of work doing on them, and they're all fairly quick fixes, so they should disappear in no time. Famous last words, because you've got to be in the mood to do things like that. I like creating the brand new garment. I love cutting out the wonderful, lovely, yummy fabrics. Just sewing a button on something because it's fallen off just does not float my boat. But there's 5 things that I need to repair or finish, and I need to get them done. Then, works in progress. We're not going to count the dressmaking Learn to Fit course because that's an ongoing thing, but I do need to commit to doing some more on that. I've let myself down drastically. I'm annoyed at myself with that. So that is on my radar. Apart from that, there are 3 project bags with things in, 2 of which I definitely want to get completed, and 1 that's going to wait because I'm not going to wear it. It's for around the pool, so it'll do for next year. So just 2 projects. I'm sure I should be able, in September, to get these 2 done, shouldn't I? I'm going to commit to that. So these 2 projects, so I've got a gel dress and a fringe dress that have been sat in these wallets for months. And no more. They're getting done in the month of September. But I also need a project a week. That's what I'm giving myself. A garment or a project a week that I'm doing, that I want to do, that I'm looking forward to doing and I'm going to enjoy doing. I enjoy all my sewing at different levels, but for different reasons. And I loved making the dandelion jacket last week, and I'm chuffed to bits that I've almost finished it. I forgot to tell you about the fabrics that I bought, didn't I? These are the 2 furback sweatshirtings that I got from Empress Mills. Oh, they are so snuggly and warm. I could just wrap myself up in them right now. They're fur-backed. Get up close and personal, then you can see. So it's a short-haired fur on the inside instead of the normal sweatshirting. And they're really quite thick and very snuggly. I'm planning on making the Whistler top from Love Notion Patterns and a pair of Closet Core jog pants in both of these. And the Whistler has got a crossover cowl type neck. So where that bit is, I was thinking of doing a switcheroo with the sweatshirting and having the fleece fur bit on the outside there, just to make it really nice and snuggly around my neck. So that's what I'm doing with these, and I also got it in the green colour. Then I was very naughty and I went online and ordered some fabric from Higgs and Higgs. This is what caught my eye, and it's their felt back boucle. It is super soft, and I want to make the cocoon coat from So Different Patterns in it to go with my tulip dress that I made recently. Now, just let me show you the inside of this. Instead of looking all rough and horrible on the inside like some boucles can, it's got a really nice, soft, snuggly finish to it, which I think will go great with the cocoon jacket or coat because it's only the front sections in it that are actually lined. The back is unlined, so that's going to be great for that. And I found on Higgs and Higgs as well some of this beautiful Nerida Hansen viscose, and it's got a little pop of bright green in it. So I think that ties in really well, and I'm going to use that for the lining. The last thing that I bought is some of this washed bubble cord that's actually fur backed, and it's got a cream fur lining. Again, I got this from Higgs and Higgs, and I want to make a wintry Ilford jacket in this. I've had the Ilford jacket pattern for yonks. I've still not cut it out. I can't decide whether to make one for me or one for the hubster. Depends if I've got enough fabric, I'll make one for Nick. If not, it'll just have to be one for me, won't it? And that's it. I only bought 5 fabrics this week. Admittedly, some of them were online purchases, but sometimes you can't always get what you want in an in-person shop. So it's good to have a balance, isn't it? Yeah, so 5 fabrics. I'm not going to beat myself up over that, and they are all intentional purposes. I know exactly what I'm making with every single one of them. I've got something cut out. Looks huge, doesn't it? But it's not. It's got a lot of pieces. Let me get the pattern first. It's the trampling trousers from Maison Fauve. I made some of these last year and they didn't quite work out. You've got to be careful with these. Let me turn it round so you can see where that detail is at the knee. If you can see, it's got pleats where the knee is. Because I have to shorten everything, because I'm a midget, I ended up not doing it quite right. And though you're meant to make sure that the centre pleat lands in the centre of your knee, and they didn't, they were too high. So I took this pattern and some fabric to the social on Sunday, and I got Steph to help me sort out the shortening of the front legs of the pattern. And so hopefully this time round the darts will be in the right place. Fingers crossed. These are the offcuts of the fabric that I'm going to use. It's a twill fabric. Now, I don't know what the fabric composition is because I bought this from the rag market in Birmingham for 50p a metre. I know, 50p a metre for this. So I got 2 metres of it, more than enough to make the trampling trousers. So I've got a pair of trampling trousers for £1. If they work out, I'll be made up. And it's actually good quality fabric. So they're not a toile, hopefully. They are a very wearable pair of trousers. So that's my make for this week. Now it is a very in-depth make. So again, don't know whether I'll finish it or not, but we will see. The other thing I've got on this week is, well, other things, is I'm at my quilt class tomorrow, Tuesday, and we'll learn a new block there. So my head will be frazzled. So that's Tuesday done. Wednesday, Steph's coming over and we're going to go through what's left of the DESTASH fabrics. And I've pulled a few of them out to show you now because there are still some really beautiful fabrics in that DESTASH account. But we're going to go through them, maybe start discounting some. We'll see. We're hatching a plan on Wednesday and maybe get some sewing done as well. Friday, knit and natter. Yay, get some more of my knitting done before I go. I want to try and get the back of that jumper finished before Friday. So a bit of knitting, not a huge amount, but we'll get there slowly but surely. And Saturday, I'm off over to Harrogate to the lovely Ruth Creates first sewing social. And I cannot wait for that. It's going to be amazing to go somewhere where I'm not organising it. I'm not constantly being asked questions. I love doing my socials, but it's nice to go and just be a participant sometimes, isn't it? So Steph and I are going on a road trip over to Harrogate, and we might get a chance to call back in the Remnant House because I love that shop. We'll see. We'll see how much time we've got because we're only there for the day. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, on Wednesday, my new sewing machine's coming. Can't wait for that. So that's going to take a chunk of my time up, isn't it? Getting my head around that machine. I'm hoping it's not going to be as complicated as I'm making it out to be in my head, but we will see. let's look at the fabrics that I pulled out of the DESTASH that I think look better in the flesh, and hopefully, because from photos you can't really tell what they're like, can you? So let me just grab the few that caught my eye. Here are the fabrics that caught my eye that are currently in the DESTASH. The first one is a viscose fabric in a gorgeous leaf print. Now, if this doesn't sell, I'll be keeping it because I do still kind of like it, but it's coming to the end of the summer and I'm trying to keep my stash seasonal. So most of the stuff that's spring and summer is being sold that's left. There's not an awful lot, but this is one of them. There's 3 meters of this. So if that's your bag, pop over to the DESTASH channel. I'll put the detailed link, in the details below. That's still in there. The second one is this. Now, I bought this to make a blouse or shirt that I could play with the stripes. Now, it's got gold stripes on it. It's fairly semi-opaque, but I think you get away with it as a blouse. It's a beautiful viscose from Guthrie and Garner. Don't know why nobody's snaffled that one up. Would be great as a autumn winter if you're going to a party with a pair of smart trousers. That's still in there. This next one I wasn't sure whether to put in the DESTASH, but in the end I decided no, you don't need this in your life anymore. It's a beautiful satin cotton twill. Got a bit of stretch to it, so great for trousers where you want a bit of comfort around the waist. And there's an awful lot of it in a sumptuous rust colour. And that will make a really nice pair of wide leg trousers, pair of jeans, possibly a pair of jeggings because it's got the stretch in it, a jacket. The stretch will give you a little bit of give. Make a cracking Ilford, wouldn't it? So, talking myself back into keeping that one, but it's still in there at the moment. This next one is one of Steph's. It's a burnout leopard print. It's a stretch fabric. Make a lovely floaty dress if you put a little lining right just around the bodice, wouldn't it? So if leopard print's your colour, it's really soft. How much have we got of that? I think there's quite a bit of it. It's 150 centimetres wide and there's 3 metres of it, and she only wants £10. That's still in there, but not for long, I'll bet. These next two are perfect party season fabrics. The first one is silver on a black background sparkle. It's possibly semi-opaque, bit of stretch to it. There's 3 metres of this and it's only £6. So even if you want to use it for toiling something, how gorgeous a toile would that be? So yeah, I don't know why nobody's bought that one, but it's still in the DESTASH. This next one, quite a few people have inquired about it, but nobody's actually bought it. And it's got a bit of stretch. It's like a fine black mesh with cream floral design all over it. Obviously, it's see-through, but layered up over the top of That, how good would they look together? You could make a little dress out of that and then put an overdress, big floaty overdress in that one. And there's your party season outfit. 2 dresses for the price of 1. So that's £6, the sparkly. Now there's 6 metres of this stuff. So I defy anybody to say there's not enough fabric there to make a big floaty overdress. 150 centimetres wide, and it's £20 because there's 6 metres of it. So you could use, say, 3 metres and then de-stash the other 3 metres. Or share it with a friend, £10 each, and you've both got a dress. Just a few ideas. So they're the few that I've pulled out of the de-stash. There's still quite a lot of stuff in there. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's bought from my de-stash. It's been amazing. The postman is very confused at what I'm doing, because I won't tell him. He keeps trying to find out. So go and have a look. Ask any questions on the fabrics. If there's any that you're not sure about on there and you want me to do a little video of them and send it to you, I can do that. I'm happy to do that, because photos don't always do fabrics justice, do they? Well, they very rarely do. So that's why I've shown you a few of them today. But I've been waffling on for quite a while now, so I'm going to go. Before I go, let me just remind you about my little competition. I forgot to mention it last week. But the week before, so 2 weeks it's been running now, I've set a little competition up to say thank you to all my subscribers. When I reach the 3,000 subscribers, which is probably the next couple of weeks, fingers and toes crossed. But when I do reach 3,000 subscribers, I'm going to put everybody who's subscribed into a draw, and one lucky person is going to win a £50 voucher for the fold line. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Get yourself in that draw. Somebody's got to win it. And on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Love you loads. Take care and happy sewing.